All right, hello everybody. My name is Dalton Rellinger, and welcome to what is essentially just going to be a let's talk about things episode. It's going to be an update for the channel, basically. So it's been a long time since I've actually sat down and recorded a series of videos like I've been doing pretty much all day. I've recorded 3 or 4 videos today, and the reason that I stopped playing and uploading games for the most part was because I was waiting for a new computer. A lot of the games that I have on my Steam account, I couldn't really record uh, de- in a dependable manner. Everything would turn out choppy, or the files would crash, or I'd run out of memory, or yada yada yada. List goes on. And now that I've got this new computer, I didn't get it specifically for gaming, but I did get it for messing around with my 3D software where I can make animations and stuff like that. Um, this kind of opens up a unique opportunity to me. This is something I kind of thought about in the past, though I didn't think it'd really be uh, within the realms of actual believability, I guess. So, come June this year, I'm going to turn 29, right? And pretty much my entire life, despite the fact my family owns a farm where I could go work for myself, I haven't really worked for myself. And that's something I want to try and do eventually, is I want to get away from my job as a garbage man and start working for myself, doing something that I actually enjoy. Because I've found out that once I start sitting down and I actually work on things that I actually want to do, I actually become a bit of a workaholic. Um, my girlfriend can actually reinforce this statement because she's seen me work pretty much all day in the past. And now that I've got this new computer, it's going to allow me to do things that I just couldn't do before. I can start looking at newer and better editing software. I can look at um, games I just couldn't look at in the past, and I can start doing things that just in general I couldn't really do with the old computer. So I want to get back into the channel as much and as quickly as possible. And I want to grow the channel as quickly as possible, though I don't know the best way to do that. I need to look into some ways of quickly growing the channel, uh, playing games that are actually relevant, and probably streaming every now and then would probably help. That's another thing I need to start doing, is I need to start looking into streaming again. Streamings can be kind of fun, but whenever you're streaming by yourself and there's basically nobody watching, and there's nobody writing anything in the comments section or in the chat, it gets very weird, and I feel like I might as well just be recording an actual video as opposed to doing a live stream. Um, so I need to pick a specific day of the week and just sit down and start streaming on a regular basis every now and then. Probably fairly early in the morning for me as well. I'll probably start around uh, 5 o'clock or so. That way, um, a lot of the bigger streamers likely won't be streaming, uh, taking away my potential audience, I guess. So games that you can see that you can kind of look forward to in the future is Transport Fever. I'm probably going to do a full playthrough of this. I'm enjoying the game. It's not as good as the original in my opinion, but it does have a lot to offer. There are a lot of changes that I do agree with the game. Um, I also plan on doing a playthrough of Rome Total War, the remastered edition, because the hype for that game has kind of died down a little bit now, and that means that there's a wider audience for me to kind of come into. After Rome Total War, I might do Medieval 2 because I haven't really played around with Medieval 2 too much. I couldn't really get into it that much, but if I start doing an actual playthrough of it, who knows? I might start liking it a lot more. Um, Horror games are also a a potential thing for me to start touching up on. I need to go through and I need to clean out the channel a little bit because there's a lot of series now that there's just no way I can go back and continue. I need to pretty much announce that Skyrim is pretty much done. There's no way in heck I could get that game to continue going. The new computer, it doesn't have any of the mods. A lot of the games that I had progress in, it's pretty much long gone. Um, I guess I could like restart Oblivion for like the 16th time, but uh, I don't know. I think Oblivion has kind of run its course with me. It's one of my favorite games of all time, but you can only play something for so long before you just say enough is enough. You've played that enough, and that's kind of where I'm at right now with Oblivion. Vanilla Skyrim could be something I could look at, but again, Skyrim I played it so much that it just kind of gets stale after a while. So this is kind of why I like games like Transport Fever and Minecraft and um, a lot of these like grand strategy games. They're like no two games will really be the exact same. Every map is going to be different in some way or another. Transport Fever, not so much, because like generally it's the same thing every game you play. You can set up certain challenges for you to try and conquer, which that might be something we look at into the future. I might go through and I might build like a my own personal map. We'll have to wait and see what lies in store with that, but certain games that I haven't even touched in years, I will probably start kind of looking into. Imperion Galactic Survival. I haven't even installed that game onto this new hardware yet. I need to test that game out and see just how well this new computer handles it. Because with the old computer, whenever you entered into another planet's atmosphere, it's supposed to be completely seamless, right? It's supposed to be kind of like No Man's Sky. You go from space into the atmosphere of this planet, then you're in the atmosphere of the planet. And it's basically completely seamless, right? Well, with my old computer, that wouldn't happen. Like there'd be like a really long, like black loading screen that would ultimately make me think the game just crashed, and there was no way for me to know if the game just crashed. So it'd just be kind of like, do I wait for 30 minutes and hope the game comes back on, or do I just restart the computer? And obviously, that's not going to be a good way to play the game. um, I'll have to go through and look at my Steam library at some point into the future, but and just kind of see like what games that I've touched but never really played that much because I've got a lot of games that I briefly played but then I never touched them like ever again. Space Engineers being one of them. I think I last played that game in 2015 and I only had like a couple of hours in it and I haven't touched it since. Um, I don't know if Space Engineers would be better than Empyrean. We'll have to see. But yeah, I think this channel is going to start going more towards games like Transport Fever and like grand strategy games like the Total War series versus games like Oblivion and Skyrim and doing a playthrough of Fallout New Vegas could be kind of fun actually now that I think about it because like I've played and I've beaten Fallout New Vegas but there's a lot of the game that I haven't done like a lot of the DLCs I've never even touched. um Fallout 4, again, I couldn't really get into it because I treated it as more of like a role playing series or a role playing game, like the older Fallout games. And I couldn't get into it because of that reason. But if I go into it like treating it like an actual soldier, or that soldier, uh, treating it as like an actual shooter game, I might enjoy it a little bit more. We'll have to check it out and see. Is it Fallout 4? Oh my god, it came out in 2015. It's already been that long ago. Holy crap. Well, that doesn't make me feel old. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of changes coming to the channel. American Truck Simulator will probably be coming back at some point or another, though to probably a lesser extent because Oklahoma's coming out and I live in Oklahoma. It'll be kind of interesting to see how they modeled my hometown and like how accurate it is to the actual real life thing. So yeah, I'm also open to game suggestions. If you guys want to see like actual other games, let me know because, like I said, I want to start getting back into this as much as I possibly can. I'll probably start waking up a couple hours early and start recording a couple videos before I go off to work, and probably come home then record another video and schedule that to release at some point later on. I need to start setting up another schedule. Um, I need to kind of differentiate the channel as much as I possibly can. That way I can grow my audience a lot bigger and better. So, yeah, that's basically all I want to talk about is I'm basically back and there's going to be a lot of changes. So, be looking forward to that, I guess. I do need to get a new mic because the audio, I'm not a big fan of my voice in in the videos with this new mic that I've got, but I can't use headphones because this new computer, it has a driver issue. I need to take it back into the store and have it looked at, but I need to get paid first before that happens. So for right now though, for Transport Fever 2, I think it's fine. I've just got some speakers hooked up to my monitors, and that's basically how I get my audio now. City Skylines might be another thing I look into because that's, again, it's just a game I couldn't really get into with the old computer. It takes so long for it to load in, and yeah, I can't do long loading screens. I just lose patience. By the time it gets done loading, I've kind of lost interest in the game. I can't tell you how many times I actually loaded up City Skylines, then sat in my chair waiting for like 15 minutes, and by the time the game was finally done, um, I had just lost complete interest with it. I just like exited out of the game and moved on to something else. So, once again, if you have any suggestions, let me know down in the comment section below, and I will definitely consider them. I don't have that much money to play around with when it comes to buying new games, so you'll have to keep that in mind. If it's a game that costs like $60 when it's on sale, basically just forget about it unless it looks really, really interesting. So yeah, I think there's also, I wanted to talk about this before and it kind of slipped my mind, but there's a way for me to actually, let me grab my phone real quick and see what the heck that was actually called. There's a way I can actually play a lot of older like Nintendo 64 games on the computer. My eye doctor told me about that. Come on, where did I write down that note? Yeah, it's Vim's Lair, apparently. I need to get a controller that can actually plug into my computer, but apparently I can actually play a lot of older Nintendo 64 games on this site, and I need to see if I can actually play it with just keyboard and mouse. That'd be interesting. So, depending on how that works, there might be some older N64 games on the channel. That could be kind of fun. That'd be really fun, in fact. I've got so many games on my N64 that I'd love to do a playthrough of. I've got like Toy Story 2, I've got The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, I've got Majora's Mask, which I never actually beat. I never beat it for myself. I watched someone else beat it. Back in the day, I watched Nintendo Capri Sun beat it for the first time. Then several years back, like back in 2018 or so, I watched Masaya Nella, one of my favorite YouTubers to watch while I'm just kind of in a chill mood. She beat it as well, and that was the last time I ever watched anything about it. So it could be kind of fun to do like a semi-blind playthrough of a Majora's Mask. And there are a few other games that I could kind of look into. I do remember as a kid, my I think it was my ninth Christmas. It was my third grade Christmas, so give or take, I was 9 years old. Um, my dad got me this package of Nintendo 64 games, and this is back when the N64 was kind of a dying out thing. Like it was being replaced by the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube and uh, all these other consoles that were coming out at the time. And one of them was a horror game. And I remember there's like this old Western game that I couldn't figure out. You basically you're like a prisoner inside some kind of cell, and you had to figure out a way to get out. And I never got out of the cell because I was too young to really understand what the heck I was trying to do. So I need to look into what that game was and see if I can find it on the site, because that could be interesting. See what the heck I was missing out on. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up for now. I hope you guys are looking forward to more videos coming back into the channel very soon. And depending on how things go, oh yeah, Sailwind. I forgot Sailwind. Sailwind recently had a economy update. I've played around with that in my own personal time, but I need to upload a video up on that as well. And I did get a lovely, lovely comment for someone just yesterday before I went to bed, actually, saying how they were using my videos as a way to learn the game. So that's refreshing. Like Sailwind, even though it was very unlikely, it was actually one of my better series. Like I got more views on that series than I did anything else. And the Isle, yeah, the Isle. I should probably bring this up. Do not ask me to play the Isle. The Isle, it's done. I've had it with that game. I'm I'm done with it. So the Isle is pretty much just completely done on the channel. Uh, I used that game to grow my previous channel, the one I had a long time ago. But the Isle, I don't know what the heck happened to it. It's lost its charm. There was something in the Legacy edition of the game that just made it feel unique. It felt special. It was actually fun to play. Um, the community wasn't as bad as it is now with Evrima. And I don't really know how to put it. There was just something special about the Isle Legacy Edition, and as well as like the older versions of the game. Like the older versions of the game are just they were something special, but then something happened, and the developers just completely lost their focus with the game. So yeah, I'm no longer going to be playing the Isle on the channel unless I just decide I want to do it for like a special fun uh, live stream or something. So yeah, that's gonna be it from me for this video. Like I said before, if you have any suggestions or any recommendations, write them down in the comments section. If you have any tips that I could use to grow the channel, please let me know. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. So once again, guys, take care. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.